Hello there. This is a brief recap on the objectives of tourism development. This is for the Responsible Tourism Unit at Leeds City College. You'll already know that tourism is one of the fastest growing sectors in the world, creating employment and income for destinations in the developed and the developing world. Creating jobs and revenue are important economic objectives of tourism development, but also political, environmental and socio-cultural objectives play their part as well. It's important for this unit that you understand that tourism development is not always a smooth and trouble-free process. There are sometimes conflicting objectives amongst the people investing in tourism. Developers, for example, are keen for any tourism development to take place as quickly as possible in order to get a fast return on their investment. Local people, on the other hand, and community groups will want to make sure that any development does not cause environmental, social and cultural problems. On the screen in front of you, you'll see a really good diagram which splits into 4 categories, the objectives of tourism development. You'll see that it's split into political, environmental, socio-cultural and economic. And I'm just going to quickly run through, very quickly for you, the main points about this. Political factors include revenue, identity and profile. Revenue is the obvious one because visitors coming to a country generates income for the government which can be invested in either further tourism development or in other projects in the economy, for example education, health and welfare services. Creating identity is all about markets and domestic tourists and how they can help create and maintain a national or regional identity. And the profile is when a country's exposure or an area on the world scale can be enhanced. For example, when the Olympic Games are held in a country like Atlanta or Sydney or Barcelona, this created a huge increase in tourist visitors after the games were held. Okay, moving on to environmental. An example would be environmental regeneration. Tourists visiting an area can stimulate improvements to the natural and built environments such as beach cleaning, walking and cycle routes, etc. Habitat and heritage preservation would be something like sand dunes or coral reefs and mountain areas where these are very fragile habitats and it's very important that tourism doesn't damage these. And then there's environmental education. This is where local tourists visiting an area can stimulate improvements to the natural and built environment by going on guided walks, visiting visitor centres, self-guided trails and explanatory leaflets. Let's move on to socio-cultural. To be truly responsible, tourism development must work in harmony with local people and their traditional ways of life. And this holds good for both developed and developing nations. Promoting cultural understanding and maintaining cultural traditions must be a prime objective of all tourism development projects. Tourism, remember, also has the ability to promote cultural understanding between people from different nations with diverse traditions and religious beliefs. And finally, let's look at economic objectives of tourism. Tourism can create employment, it can attract revenue to an area and recirculate it in the local economy via the multiplier effect. It can increase foreign currency earnings and it can contribute to economic regeneration. If planned and managed effectively, tourism has the ability to generate significant amounts of foreign currency earnings in the form of direct payments to tourist businesses and taxes collected by local and national governments. Okay, that's just a summary of the main points with regard to the objectives of tourism development. For further reading, there's lots on the internet and there's plenty of textbooks as well. Good luck.